dogging me and telling people all these things about me made me, when I was young, so vulnerable that I ended up being a target of sexualization by creepy family members and extended people. Here's what I was thinking that made me come here. I'm going to probably make it a couple of minutes. I was thinking back to the lady who I was friendly with. Not really her, but her granddaughter, who I adore and I think is cool. And this lady, one of the reasons I thought this lady was exhibiting symptoms of what the fuckness. They would do things like be like a snake. You feel like, I'm not safe saying anything to you that you're not going to say it to somebody else, even though it's not good for you to do so. There are certain things that doesn't matter, and then there are things that you use your discretion and you're like, no, let me not. So there would be no discretion, or what's that word? I used it recently. Decorum. So she would do that, and I thought to myself, I need to be careful around her. But I still not adored her, but it's still we were friendly. And one time we happened to be around each other, and she dogged her granddaughter, who will die for her, who I adore. And I thought, I just had an aha today, because to me that was one thing. It really bothered me, and I thought about it a lot, and I thought, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not going to be around her granddaughter for long periods of time, because her granddaughter had said to me, next time you go to Mexico, let me know. I would like to go to Mexico. I want to travel. I thought to myself, I feel like I wasn't ready, because I was afraid that I might tell on her grandma how she was dragging her. I've told this to a couple of people, and one of them was just family members. One of them, I think, was like, what exactly did she say that was so bad? And I'm realizing now this is part of my family just being dismissive of me. I think they look at me like just so fucking crazy. Like it's an eye roll when they look at me like, oh gosh, eye roll, eye roll, eye roll, eye roll. That's the feeling that I get from my family. Just anything I do, it triggers an eye roll reaction from them. And I still feel the way I feel, of course, about this grandma. And it's not going to take it away. It doesn't matter what anybody says. That's my feeling. And it's already happened. So I'm not undoing it and reversing how it made me feel. Right now, I just had this aha of, oh my gosh, it's because what that grandma did is one of the things that my family would do to me growing up. They would talk about me, and I would find out that they're constantly saying all these things about me. One of the things they thought I was asleep, and my two sisters were talking about me sitting in bed that I was asleep on, and just discussing me. And it sucked. And also, I read a letter that one of my sisters wrote to another sister and asked me to mail it. And she was dogging me in that letter. And I read it because she used to read my letters. So I was like, fuck you. Why do you deserve privacy when I get none? And this is not about any of that, but it is about the fact that I was so bothered for so long. It's because I was triggered by what the grandma did. It was somebody who you would die for, who you live for, who you trust, just dogging the fuck out of you. And it's like you're making me look bad to people. Why are you doing that? Why are you not protecting me? You're putting me in a vulnerable... Oh my God, I just had another aha moment. I'm going to be careful now because I don't want to go to a place. I'm treading lightly. I don't want to go to a place where I'm going to feel emotional and sad. But my family dogging me and telling people all these things about me made me, when I was young, so vulnerable that I ended up being a target of sexualization by creepy family members and extended people. Some of these people are really, if you look at it, it's like 20 degrees. It's like not even a relative. So those are all because my name was so like muddied. So I was like, oh man, they think I'm such a bad person. So wow. So it really does run deep. It's such a realization that I just had. Wow. That's why that lady is basically dead to me now. And it's hard for me to go back. Sometimes it takes a while. A lot of times, actually. It takes a while for me. Even though I'm a proud people blocker, it also does tend... I do give people a big chance to get to that place. And then I'm like, all right, that's it. Because I'm on this journey of trying to... It's not self-discovery, maybe partly, but I'm on this journey of... I want to take responsibility for my role in things. And I want to know if it is me and not the other person, that kind of thing. But I also... So by the time I cut someone off, I've done my due diligence, so to speak. So, yeah, that kind of thing. All right. I'm glad that I had this realization. A part of me is like, I wonder if this lady would like, the granddaughter, if she would like to know. But I'm like, would it help her out in any way? Because I've done something like this before where, oh my gosh, this is the same thing. I think I did a recording about it where, or maybe I was just... This is one day that I just went over a lot of things in my head where it was kind of like I was in therapy and I was telling my therapist about it, but it wasn't. I was just talking to myself the whole day. And I got into this deep ruminating thing. So I don't even know if I did record that, but it was about how this friend that I had who would dog me out to people I didn't even know. It's actually the same thing. And when I found out, I was like, wow. And then she had a very good friend of hers, her best friend, who was in her life all their lives. They were like sisters or cousins, that kind of thing. And she would come to me and talk so poorly about this girl. It was familiar. I thought, oh my God, she's doing to this girl what she's doing to me. But now I'm not none the wiser anymore. So when I got a chance to be around this girl, I told the girl. I was also pissed because it was a party of this girl, and I realized that she had like all her best friends there, and she was juggling, trying to keep us all apart from each other because I guess she didn't want us to find out. So I thought, fuck you. So when I had a chance, I gave a ride to this best friend. I told her, and that friendship ended forever. I don't care. And mine with this girl continued because I did tell her best friend that I don't do what you want about this, but I'm not breaking up with her because I'm choosing to be in her life knowing what I know about her. And then, of course, of course, how long can that kind of toxic relationship last? It didn't last long after that. Now I'm thinking this trend, like, do I want to tell this? I don't want to tell this girl, first of all. It's not my business. Let these people live their lives, their toxic lives. What am I, I don't want to come here and be fucking up people's relationships. But I'm like, I wonder what she would do if she knew. It's crazy when it's your grandma because, what if I tell her and then soon after that grandma dies and I'm the person who fucked up the relationship with grandma and now grandma's dead. You know what I mean? So I'm not getting involved, but yeah, I think she'll feel so betrayed because that's how I felt and continue to feel whenever this keeps happening in my life. And that's how their sister felt and ended up ending that relationship. That was a lifelong one because who wants to be betrayed and be dedicating themselves to a snake? So yeah, it's so crazy that's why I just can't stand that lady and she grosses me out. It's what she represents. Because sometimes I'm like, what did she really do to me? That was so bad. That's why. And the very last straw was a lady I met at the thrift store because this lady who I was friendly with in question works at the thrift store. There was a lady I met there, ended up visiting her, and she gave me a couple of things for myself because she found out what my shoe size was and she had a suitcase full of shoes, etc. People in this town are very big gossips, so I'm very careful what I do with anybody here. So I was like, I saw that lady, the shoe lady, and I was excited to see her. In fact, I think I did text her one day and she didn't pick up. She didn't text me back after she had given me her number and said, text us anytime, call us, whatever. You're a friend now, family or whatever. So when I texted her, I thought to myself, and she didn't text me back, I thought, that is so crazy. And then I thought to myself, I wonder if that snake lady has anything to do with it, because I think that she's so lonely and old and miserable and ugly that she most probably would be the person to do that to people. If she did it to her granddaughter, nobody's safe, folks. Who am I? And so I saw this lady in person. I was like, oh my gosh, hi. And she was very standoffish. Her husband was nice, but she was standoffish. And it was at the thrift store with this snake lady. And she talked to the snake lady and was nice to her, but was kind of dismissive to me. And I was thinking to myself, should I just take all her shoes and go give them back to her? And I thought, no, it's fine, but I'll never call her again. These people don't realize that, like, I don't even have to curse you and you're going to have really poor luck in your life by treating me a certain kind of way. I have a track record. So, yeah, I thought to myself, I wonder if this lady had anything to do with it. I almost wanted to say to her, did you say anything to her about me under any capacity? Because you don't have to have done anything bad for her to dog you out. That's what I learned about her granddaughter. So I wanted to, and I thought, I just got up and I walked right out. And that was the last time I was there. Because I thought, the more time I spend around this lady, I don't know what she's telling people, because she does want to be like, this woman is 70-something years old. I'm in my 40s. But there is a competitive spirit there that I feel like she is a little inspired by me. And I inspire a lot of people. And some brave ones will tell me to my face. And I appreciate it. It's usually the ones who inspire me too. Maybe you have something in common. But this lady, I'm like, let me stop being around her, blessing her with my presence. She's taking it for granted, just like she's taking the presence of her and the gift of her granddaughter for granted. Because her whole life is her granddaughter. But she's risking it all for a fix of being a snake to a stranger from Africa who has her on a short leash. Like, get a life, lady. All right, that's all I wanted to say.